Tonight, Broken Hill set for a week of state MP visits. And our region's businesses welcome a plan to lower power prices in South Australia.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Broken Hill is set to host a number of state government ministers this week as the Western Division's Council's conference begins. Adam Marshall arriving early today, setting the agenda for a big week in local politics.
When it rains, it pours. Broken Hill set to host multiple state government ministers this week in town for the Western Division Council's conference.
It's actually pretty roomy, isn't it?
Minister for Agriculture and Western New South Wales, Adam Marshall, touching down early, chequebook in hand.
We said to landholders, for every landholder that fills out a survey, Local Land Services Western will donate $20.
The Royal Flying Doctor Service given that money, totalling over $6,000. It's a drop in the ocean of operating costs, but still very welcome.
Some of that is funded by grants, etc., but donations actually underwrite the delivery of those services.
The roadshow then moved to the new Local Land Service facility, inspecting the new offices and vet clinic expected to be complete by the middle of the year.
A proper laboratory where we can do autopsies and do a lot of testing in a modern facility.
A number of ministers and their shadow counterparts arrived in town today for a chance to connect with the far west.
What's going well? What can we do better? What are things perhaps that we can be doing that we're not currently doing?
But all eyes will be on Water Minister Melinda Pavey, who's expected to visit the Menindee Lakes later this week. Expect to see more hard hats and high vis over the coming days. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
South Australia's electricity prices could be slashed following a new billion-dollar deal between the state and federal governments. Prime Minister Scott Morrison touched down in the Clare Valley yesterday to announce the landmark plans.
The Prime Minister touching down in the Clare Valley.
The beautiful Jim Barry wines coming.
Scott Morrison arriving with a gift announcing an energy and emission reduction plan. It's set to help local businesses like Jim Barry Wines dig away at their energy costs.
Lower costs, more affordable energy for South Australians. Lower prices, reliable energy.
A welcome sigh of relief for many regional residents.
Reduce the cost of electricity or power. I mean, you can't live in Clare without warming your house in winter. It's very cold, you know.
The plan includes $400 million of Commonwealth funding for renewable energy projects, electric vehicles, carbon capture projects, and the long-promised interconnector between South Australia and New South Wales set to be funded.
A lower emissions for the future, both here in South Australia and more broadly, by backing in the incredible technology that Australia is and will continue to lead the world in.
Wineries are among the regional businesses set to reap the benefits, with hopes this billion-dollar deal could slash their bills.
If we can cut the amount we have to pay for it, that's an advantage, and then you can spend it on employing more people.
Peter Barry also taking matters into his own hands with plans to upgrade his solar system.
Latest technology, which will hopefully reduce our electricity bill by 20%.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A 27-year-old man has lost his licence after being caught drink driving in Port Pirie at 2 a.m. this morning. Patrols noticed a vehicle driving erratically along Mary Ellie Street and breath tested the motorist. The driver allegedly returned a blood alcohol reading of 0.174. He was issued with a 12-month immediate loss of licence and will appear in court at a later date. Broken Hill police are investigating an alleged vandalism attack at the city's local cemetery. They say white paint was thrown over a black marble tombstone and grave sometime between the 2nd of April and last Friday. The family of the deceased didn't want to speak on camera, but took to social media, saying the incident has severely upset them. Police are asking anyone who may have information to contact Crime Stoppers or the local police station. A coronial inquest into the death of a teenager has begun in Broken Hill. The 5-day inquest will examine the medical treatment given to Alex Brace before his death in 2017. Lachlan Itter was in court this afternoon.
Alex Brace was 18 years old when he died at a Sydney hospital in September 2017. This coronial inquest is to examine whether he received appropriate care in Broken Hill in the hours leading to his passing. The inquest heard Alex Brace visited Broken Hill Hospital 4 times before his vitals were taken. They heard Alex had no underlying health conditions, initially presenting at the Broken Hill Hospital with a sore knee on the 20th of September before he was flown to the Royal Prince Alfred on the 22nd. The coroner heard Alex was in a critical condition during the flight and he went into cardiac arrest shortly after arriving in Sydney. No autopsy was performed, so no definitive cause of death has been given, but expert witnesses said he likely suffered a serious bacterial infection. His parents were in court for today's session, wiping away tears at times. John Brace, Alex's father, taking to the stand with a recollection of events. In a statement, a spokesperson for the Far West Local Health District extended their condolences to the Brace family, saying the district has reviewed and strengthened its clinical governance systems. The inquest will continue here at the Broken Hill Courthouse until Friday.
Still to come tonight, Port Lincoln plays host to the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra, and a short walks program looking to pay big dividends for Clare's tourism industry. Welcome back. The film series that put Broken Hill on the world cinema map looks set to return to the region. The New South Wales government announcing a prequel to Mad Max will be filmed in the state. Titled Furiosa, it will feature Australian acting superstar Chris Hemsworth. The blockbuster will be shot both in Sydney and regional parts of the state, with the Silver City in line to be part of the shooting. The George Miller project is expected to be released in mid-2023. The Adelaide Symphony Orchestra has made a triumphant return to Port Lincoln for the first time in more than half a century. The ensemble performed to almost 1,000 people over the weekend, even giving the local city band a chance to hit the stage.
Hitting the right chord and in fine tune for a return to the seafood capital. The full ensemble of the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra took centre stage at Port Lincoln's Nautilus Theatre for a mesmerising weekend of music. From Italian opera to a waltz, a sea shanty and even a song dedicated to Port Lincoln.
Well, hello Port Lincoln, it's great to be down in your very nice little seaside town.
The orchestra made up for lost time and locals couldn't get enough.
I've never really seen a full orchestra before, so it was pretty amazing.
Charismatic maestro Guy Noble wielded the conductor's baton, navigating the audience through a symphony by the sea, even encountering the odd pirate. With a touch of movie magic.
I thought it was absolutely magnificent. It really was.
We've just been blown away by the wonderful welcoming nature of the Port Lincoln community.
But it was soprano Desiree Fran that left audiences on the edge of their seat. Even Port Lincoln City Band got in on the action, performing alongside the professionals.
Playing with us to support us, just give us a bit more confidence, and we just loved the music and it just felt fantastic.
The performance was part of Port Lincoln's Salt Festival and scored the performers rave reviews. Almost 1,000 tickets were sold.
So it should come every year, at least.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Great stuff. Internet connection across the far north and Eyre Peninsula is set to receive a significant boost, thanks to a joint investment by the state and federal governments. It's hoped to provide greater connectivity to rural and remote communities.
A cash injection set to keep more regional residents online. The state and federal governments committing $7 million towards the Woodinna Switch Up project and Far North SA Regional Connectivity Program, with additional funding from Woodinna Council, Telstra and the NBN.
Between Hawker and Lee Creek is set to be majorly upgraded, and that will enable a lot more heavy use of mobile phones up in the far north. We expect to see a transmitter north of Copley.
The Primary Industries Minister saying providing the infrastructure is critical to growing regional communities.
We need to make sure that they have that access so that businesses compete in those regional areas, and so school kids learn equally as they do in the city.
Grey MP Rowan Ramsey backing the investment, saying it provides a stronger link between mobile phone and internet coverage in remote areas.
I think that'll make quite a difference to those areas up there. So, I'm just really pleased to see the investment.
Lee Creek Area School and Maree Aboriginal School are also set to benefit, with access to high-speed internet as part of the announcement.
This is an important investment both by the state and federal governments. It gives them the same access to the World Wide Web as their city counterparts.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Clare Valley's diverse landscapes will be showcased through a new short walk initiative, enticing residents and visitors to get active. From simple strolls to more serious slogs, 6 walking tracks are now part of the programme.
From heritage-listed sites to vineyard-covered landscapes, Clare Valley short walks are the perfect excuse to get active.
Do more things than just the food and wine, which we're well known for. So there's 6 of them, and they go from Clare all the way down to Riverton, and there's a variety of walks taking in some of our best views that we've got.
The new council initiative works to highlight the best walking tracks around town for both visitors and locals.
The Riesling, Rattler, Hyson trails, Lavender Federation trails, but they're very long, and for a tourist to come up here, they want to do something maybe in the morning for a couple of hours.
Trails that you can do in a weekend, you can do it in the morning and do something else, go to the wineries in the afternoon.
There's something for everyone from young families to mobile seniors. Neagles Rock, one of the 6 sites listed, is proving to be a fan favourite with a short adventurous climb leading to a magnificent view.
Some things you really just can't see unless you get out on your feet and have a look around.
The official launch of the program is this Friday.
Now starting to let our operators know that this product is here. So it's a product that's always been here, but this is a new version of it, really.
More information can be found on Clare Valley's tourism website. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us, we'll check all the region's sports results from across the region. And the Spencer Golf Footy League ready to get their season underway. The Darling Barker River Convoy is underway, with boats currently making the trip to Punkari. 3 handmade wooden vessels leading the way after launching at Menindee on Friday afternoon. It wasn't without its hiccups though, with engine issues causing some concern. Organisers hope their journey will encourage conversations around water policies, which they say are killing the Darling Barker River. The trip will end at Wentworth on May 1st. Clubs are gearing up for the start of the Spencer Golf Football League season this weekend. Following a tough COVID year, club presidents say they are looking forward to the sport returning to normal.
Excitement is building across the Spencer Golf ahead of the return of the football season this weekend. All 6 teams will return to a normal 17-round season. Round 1 will see South Augusta take on Port at Central Oval on Saturday, followed by 2 must-see Anzac Day clashes.
It seemed like it was never going to get here, especially after last year's abbreviated season. Yeah, really keen to get stuck into it.
COVID restrictions will remain in place, with spectators having to check in at the gate.
We're restricted to 1,000 people at our venue, but that doesn't include the players that are playing at the time, any of the coaching staff, medical staff and volunteers.
Clubs are raring to go, with one of them looking to create history this season.
Westies won 5 in a row in the 70s, and we've won the last 5, and if we can get the 6th one this year, we'd be really, really happy.
But before getting their hands on the cup, teams have to make the finals first.
You know, we've signed up a lot of good players and looking forward to this year be up around the mark, and definitely I'll be surprised if we're not at least in the finals this year.
Finished in 4th position last year. We had a pretty competitive year, and so we're looking to stay, make that final 4 again.
Locals are encouraged to show their support for local footy.
The support that the patrons gave us last season was outstanding, and I'm sure that they will help us through the season again.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Time now to go around the grounds and see how your team fared over the weekend. With all the latest results from across the region, here's Nathan Regter with Sports Wrap.
Both Wanderers and Lions needed a win to keep their League Cup chances alive, which made Saturday afternoon's clash a vital one. Wanderers struck first to take the lead before a late goal from Lions ensured the two teams split the points. Wanderers have 3 draws to start the season, with Lions starting 2021 with a win and draw. In the other match, Westlands United gave their cup final chances a boost, defeating Still United 3-1. Over in Port Pirie, and it was a difficult week for both local soccer teams. Northern Demons remain winless in the State League 2 after Adelaide Vipers came from behind to win 3-1 in Port Pirie, while Savoy are also still looking for their first win of the 2021 season, going down 2-1 to Salisbury. In Whyalla, it was the opening round for the Football League with 3 major wins. Out at Memorial Oval, and North jumped out of the gates early against Rupina, securing a 51-point lead by half-time. The league continued to grow in the second half, with North recording a comfortable 102-point win over the Roos. At Banner Oval, Waroona Bay had a big win over Souths, the Tigers making a strong start, scoring 6 goals in the opening quarter. Lee Ringland was in red-hot form for the winners, booting 5 goals for the team. They eventually waltzed to victory with a 102-point win. While in the grand final rematch, Central smashed West 100-35. Over in the Silver City, and round 2 of Broken Hill football took place. South stormed ahead at Jubilee Oval in their match against Centrals, the team kicking 5 goals by half-time, while Centrals were still scraping to get on the scoreboard. The game wrapped up with South's 86 points to Central's 30. In the other match, West had a win over North, Stuart Bone securing 4 goals for West as they sealed a 27-point victory. That's all for this week. Footy Tips will return Friday, and we'll be back next week with all the sporting results from across the region.
Stay with us after the break. Alex Sykes will join us with the latest weather details for our region. That's coming up next on 7 Spencer Golf News. Hello again, time for a check of what we can expect weather-wise across the region this week. With the latest forecast, here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, John, and good evening, everyone. A beautiful autumn day across our region today. From 3 p.m, Port Augusta was sunny and 25, Whyalla 24, and it was partly cloudy in Port Lincoln, 23 degrees. Looking further out now, Broken Hill was sunny and 21. It reached 23 in Port Pirie, a max of 24 in Woodner and Cooper Pedy. Sunny in Cleve and Kadina, both 22. Clare and Coffin Bay reached 19 and 20 in Adelaide. Taking a look at the satellite image now, low cloud is forming over southeastern and central SA, and the southern peninsulas in northwesterly winds ahead of a front is causing a few light showers. Bright looking high jet stream cloud crossing the north is not bringing any rain, generally clear skies elsewhere in dry winds. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. West to southwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, seas around 1 metre increasing to 1.5 metres later in the evening, and south to southwesterly swell around 1 to 2 metres. Morning shower or 2 in Port Lincoln tomorrow, 20 degrees, a possible shower in Cleve 19, Woodner partly cloudy set to reach a high of 23 degrees there. Partly cloudy in Whyalla 22, Port Augusta mostly sunny set to reach a high of 24 degrees there, a shower or 2 clearing in Kadina 21. Partly partly cloudy in Port Pirie 22, a shower or two in Clare 17, and Broken Hill is set to be sunny and 24 degrees. Taking a look further through the week now, partly cloudy across the region on Wednesday, except for in Broken Hill where it's set to be sunny, a max of 27 in Cooper Pedy, 22 across Woodna, Wowler and Port Pirie, cloudy in Port Lincoln 21, and Adelaide is set to reach 19. Showers in Port Lincoln, Port Pirie, Kadina and Adelaide on Thursday, partly cloudy elsewhere with temperatures mainly in the low 20s, and very similar conditions on Friday. Port Augusta and Cooper Pedy will have the region's top temperature of 23 degrees, while Adelaide will only reach 20. So time to get the umbrella out this week, John, and that's all the weather from me for tonight. It's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Monday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, and we will be back tomorrow night at 7. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.